You already know what it is. It's your boy Lightwalker X here, back with another video. And just as I posted my video about when Kendrick or how Kendrick should respond to Joey Badass, we get this news today about Pusha T and Malice from the Clipse announcing more information regarding their album that is set to release July 11th next month. And we hear some bombshell news. We theorized for a long time that Kendrick was going to be a hidden feature on this song. And we've seen Pusha T at the GNX tour. I believe it was in New Jersey. And we've seen that Kendrick has been recording on tour, right? He's been going to studios while he's on tour. So we theorized that with this new announcement of the album coming out in July, that Kendrick would somehow be on the album. And we had hoped that that would be the case. But it looks like today Pusha T has confirmed it with a recent interview with GQ. He said many things today that we're going to discuss. But the first thing is that Kendrick is confirmed for the song Chains and Whips. This is going to be crazy. I'm so excited to hear what he has to say. And there's a line that I guess Pusha T previewed here that Kendrick does say, where he says, "Therapy taught me how to open up. It also showed me I don't give a fuck." I mean, we already speculated that was the case, Mr. Lamar, because you were moving on all different types of timing in 2024 when it came to the rap beef. But ever since then, it seems like Kendrick has a rejuvenation with his musical passion. And now we're seeing him come in this new era, unapologetic and ready for smoke with anyone. And I'm excited. Very excited to hear what he has to say on this album. And I'm sure a lot of people felt that same excitement until they saw what else was mentioned in this interview. Now, Pusha T went on to mention that the most interesting revelation in this interview is how Def Jam and their parent company UMG were wary of Kendrick Lamar and Clipse linking up. This is because both Lamar and Pusha T have very nasty Drake beefs under their belts that the labels didn't want to deal with. So this is what Pusha T said here, and I quote, "They wanted me to ask Kendrick to censor his verse, which of course I was never doing," Push claimed. "And then when they wanted me to take the record off, and so after a month of not doing it, Steve Gonley, the lawyer over there, was like, we'll just drop the clips. But that can't work because I'm still there." Then Def Jam reportedly dropped the project and eventually landed on Roc Nation. So that's very interesting because we did see about a couple weeks ago that Roc Nation was going to be releasing this album. That's obviously Jay-Z. And, you know, Pusha T had alleged that he was waiting
on a feature.
Okay.
Just waiting on the feature, bro. Just waiting on the feature.
So you know who you are. Whoever he's talking to, you know who you are.
And we all thought it was Kendrick, right? But it seems that Pusha T also confirmed here that Kendrick recorded his verse last year. So this is an older verse, right? Maybe they did touch-ups over the time since he recorded it, but this is a verse that was already recorded. So the mystery feature that he was waiting for, that one verse that he was waiting for, is not Kendrick, right? I know a lot of people speculated that it would be Jay-Z, but it does make a little bit more sense that it can be him now, given that Roc Nation is releasing the album. And you're making an unapologetic album like this, having Kendrick and Jay-Z come outside, given what has happened within the last year, in my opinion, I think that's perfect. Now, you're probably wondering, why would Def Jam not want to have Kendrick on this verse? Pusha T is one of their artists. Putting Kendrick Lamar on Pusha T's album after the year that he had would probably be the best thing for Pusha T, and then obviously the label themselves. It would make everyone a lot more money than anticipated. So why would they stop this? Now, the article had mentioned that this was due to Kendrick and Pusha T both having some serious past beefs with Drake. But the main issue and the most obvious issue to me as to why they said they don't want to have this verse on the album is because Drake is currently suing UMG. And it seems like the label, right, doesn't want to get involved in anything that could be messy. So if that is the case, then that obviously to me tells me that Kendrick is saying some craziness on this song. And I just theorized it in the video that I put out yesterday that I feel like him and Pusha T will definitely be going back and forth and be saying some wild stuff given their history with Drake, right? But I don't think Drake is the only one going to catch shots here. There's a lot of people that I think both these guys have to call out. And now with the labels being scared to even have the verse on the album, that kind of tells me that this is going to not only be a crazy record, but also an amazing album all around, because they are theorizing that Jay-Z and Nas are also both on this album. So a Clipse album with Kendrick Lamar, Jay-Z, Nas, produced by Pharrell, with God knows who else, I'm there for it. I'm so excited to hear what Kendrick has to say. And even just with that one line, I already know he's going to be going back into that bag where it's like, yeah, I'm healed, but at the same time, don't mess with me. That explains Kendrick's duality perfectly, in my opinion. Pusha T also talks about Kanye West in this interview, and he's pretty much saying that him and Ye are not on good terms. But Pusha said that Ye did give him back all the profits from when they were at Def Jam and kept his word. So that is good from Mr. Kanye West. One of the few good things we can say that he's doing right now. Now, Pusha T went on to quote to say about Kanye that he's a genius and his intuition is even more genius level, right? That's why me and him don't get along, because he sees through my fakeness with him. He knows I don't think he's a man. He knows it. And that's why we can't build with each other no more. That's why me and him don't click, because he knows what I really, really think of him. He showed me the weakest sides of him, and he knows how I think of weak people. The greatest thing that he did and why I'm okay with where me and him are at right now, and I'm cool with staying that way, is because at the end of the day, my truth is my truth, but I still respect what he did in the business. And he speaks ill about the music we've made and giving me certain records. But the one thing he did give me was all the profits back from the Def Jam deal. We obviously knew that they weren't on the best of terms, and Kanye has been ranting every other day and saying something crazy about people that he used to work with. So Pusha T was obviously caught in the crosshairs. But I believe recently Kanye said that he misses Pusha T. But, you know, Kanye gonna flip what he says, because I'm sure he'll go back on his word, especially once his album drops. Because I do believe that there's some shots on there for Kanye. Them mentioning Kanye and Drake and stuff like that in this interview kind of shows me, yeah, we know exactly who you're gonna call out on this next album, or at least what is going to be said. And I'm all for it because, you know, Kanye has been taking shots at both Pusha T and Kendrick and Jay-Z. So if Jay-Z is on the album, it just kind of makes sense that these guys are going to be going at these individuals given what they've been saying and doing within the last 6 to 8 months. And I guess this is what we also waited for. We wanted to hear what Pusha T had to think about the lawsuit. And he pretty much said that I don't rate him no more. The suing thing is bigger than some rap shit. Damn, it's like it just cheapens the art of it once we gotta have real questions about suing and litigation. Like, what? For this? UMG wanting to take Kendrick off of the song is more proof why this lawsuit is so dangerous. You have people in the industry tiptoeing around putting artists on songs and censoring them out of fear of getting sued. It's different when we have other artists or other people going at these labels, because at the end of the day, as we can see here, UMG, all these labels are corrupt. I've been saying that since the very beginning. You can say screw the label and screw Drake's lawsuit at the same time, because they both are negatives within the topic of discussion that is the culture. But as we can see here, just because anybody didn't think that the label was incapable of coming for Kendrick, here's proof why that isn't true and why this lawsuit is extremely dangerous for hip hop, because now we're taking away freedom of speech. Everybody's scared to say what they want to say out of fear of getting sued. And that's not right. This also proves that Kendrick was never working with UMG to defame Drake. And it's pretty crazy when you think about it, because apparently from what we're hearing in real time right now, there's no shots at Drake on this album, but just the idea of Kendrick and Pusha T on the same album together on one song is enough for UMG to say, no, we're going to shelve this project for a year. Just let that sink in. That already shows you right there, that debunks that whole theory that Kendrick was working in tandem with UMG to take out Drake, which anyone with sense and a quarter of a brain would say, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. All around, crazy developments just based off this one interview. It kind of does a lot of debunking on some narratives that have been put around on the internet for a while now. But at the same time, it does give us some more clarification on what's going on behind the scenes and what we can expect from this Clipse album coming out July 11th. So you guys let me know what you think down below. A lot of stuff that was said here. Are you guys excited for Pusha T and Malice's album? Are you excited to hear Kendrick and possibly Jay-Z or whoever else on the album? Who else do you think could be on the album? How do you feel about Def Jam, UMG, coming to say, Kendrick, we don't want you to spit this verse? Let me know down below. Thank you so much for all the support you guys have been giving me. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Stay blessed and stay tuned.
Tell me, I don't want to talk on no selling. You know I got language barriers. There's no accent you can sell me. You're cold and ivory, you know I'm a selfish. The crown is heavy. I pray they ain't my real friends. If not,